morning. Steve Ray in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Markets are mixed overnight. Not a lot of change in prices. I think the market in soybeans are trying to figure out what the Chinese demand for U.S. soybeans are going to be, how bad is the Argentina soybean situation, and just looking at just how much crush margins will need to improve here in the U.S. to satisfy any problems in Argentina. Argentina will finally get rain, but it might be too little too late. This change in the forecast may be temporary, but will allow central Brazil to dry out and finish any soybean harvest there and corn planting. Again, a private crop group came out and lowered the Argentina corn and soybean crops from their previous estimate and are a little bit lower than USDA as far as Brazil corn and soybean numbers are concerned. Over in the corn market, I think that domestic and exporters here in the U.S. need corn. And I think export demand will improve April and May. And so we're seeing continued firmness in the spreads, but flat price really isn't futures moving higher because of all of the noise outside about economies coming down and also demand uncertainty and globally and just how much corn will be available out of Brazil down the road and how much corn is available out of Ukraine with the corridor open. A lot of people are watching the talks between Russia and China, eventually China and Brazil, to see if there's going to be any new trade agreement between those countries. Certainly China needs Brazil corn and beans and Russian wheat. China needs cheap Russia oil. And so all this agreement could eventually lower U.S. wheat export, U.S. corn export, and U.S. soybean export demand. We are approaching the critical March 31 report. Most of the market's looking for more corn acres, more bean acres, and more wheat acres. The extent of increase over last year is the key to how prices react. We also note that it continues to be wet across parts of the eastern Midwest and Southeast, and we'll watch the potential meltdown of the northern plains and see if that causes any lateness of planting or, more importantly, floodings of river. It's still dry in the southern plains. We did see the Kansas wheat crop rating increased a little bit, while Colorado went down a little bit. 53% of the U.S. winter wheat crops in drought condition versus 55 last week. So again, a lot of mixed emotions about demand for U.S. grain, about weather, and also about money flow. Today, it seems like the financial markets are feeling a little bit better about all the money that was spent to bail out some of these banks. But we're just kind of see that impact that has on the U.S. economy.